So it's in your best interest to give them something that they would pay money for with somebody else, but you are not going to charge it. You are going to say, hey, just give me your information and I'll send you this thing for free. Okay. But what you have now is you have their information. Your job is to not abuse their information, but to continue to build a relationship with them because they now gave you their information. That's your job. Okay. So how do you do that? You do that by giving them something that's of value in return for their email, their phone number, their name, or a combination of all three. Okay. And if you can get that, you have the ability to now start a relationship that is not dependent on a particular platform that you don't own. Now you have information from them that you own. Now you want to treat that appropriately. You want to treat that with respect. You want to treat that with care. So your job is with the information that you now own is to build on the relationship that you have with them and don't abuse it. Give them more stuff, more value, make their life better, rinse, repeat over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? So how do you do that?
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you as always for joining me. Okay, today let's talk about how you actually get clients. How do you get patients? How do you get customers? We spend so much time in school learning how to treat people. We just don't learn how to get people to treat. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, so I want to talk about this today, and I want to talk about the engine that every single one of us need. You know, when I talk about building an online program, doing a solutions-based offer, creating a membership, making recurring revenue. Okay, all that stuff sounds cute and it sounds good, but the reality is that that's really not the hard part. The harder part is learning how to get clients to those ways that I can serve them. And if you can't do that, it doesn't really matter what you create, what you do. You're not going to get any business anyway. You're going to be broke. And so I really want to address this because I think a lot of times people think that what they create is not good. And you might be right. What you created might suck, but more than likely it doesn't. More than likely, I'm assuming you're not a crazy narcissistic psycho, and what you created, you actually really know that it could help people. But that doesn't mean that you're going to make any money from it. Because if you don't understand how to get customers, then you're doing all of this for naught. So that's what I want to talk about on today's episode. I want to talk about how you actually get customers. And honestly, this is probably where I spend more than 70% of my time working in my business. And then when I am helping you all, my clients, this is 70% of what we're doing. It's like, how do we actually get more customers? Okay. You guys spent all of your collegiate time, you spent all your time learning how to do the thing. But the reason why many of you can't leave the job that you're at, the reason why many of you are thinking of going back to the job that you were at before you left the job you were at, is because you don't know this skill. Okay. So how do you do it? Well, you must understand the awareness funnel, and it's not just to understand it, but you need to be able to put this into play. You need to be able to put this into practice. And so I want to spend the next few minutes talking about the awareness funnel, how it works, and what things you need to do to turn people that don't know you into people that are paying you money. Okay, so let's talk about the awareness funnel. I'm going to give you the steps of it, and then we'll go through each of these steps in particular on this is what you have to do. By the way, you pay me $20K a year, you pay me $50K a year, you pay me $100K a year, you pay me $5K a year. This is what I am telling you. So I'm giving this to you for free on the podcast. The only difference on what I'm telling you free versus paid is that we're actually helping you with the paid. We're helping you actually do it. Okay. So here's how it works. The steps in awareness funnel are the following. Awareness, number one. Interest is the next step below it. Number two. Consideration is the next step below interest. Number three. Intent is a step below consideration. Number four. Evaluation is a step below intent. Number five. And then your customer. That is the sixth step. Okay. So let's start from the top, because the top is the most important step. and that is awareness. Awareness is you coming to terms with this. No one knows you. No one knows you. Or maybe I should even say it like this to make it even more accurate. 99.5% of people in this world have no clue you exist. Okay? Unless you're Kevin Hart, unless you're The Rock, unless you're George Clooney, unless you're not even Tom Brady, not even Ronaldo, not even Messi. Most people don't know you all exist. They just don't. They don't. And so what you should be spending more than 50% of your time on is awareness. That's what you should be spending your time on. So how do you build your awareness? You build awareness by spending your time, spending your energy on getting in front of people that don't know you exist. But if they knew you exist, they would show interest in you. I'm not saying they pay you. I'm just saying they show interest in you. And so there's 3 ways to do that. The 3 ways to do that is through paid traffic, which most of you can't do right now, or it's probably not in your best interest to do because you don't have the money, or B, you don't have an offer that you know for sure works. Okay. So paid traffic is one way though, and it's probably one of the most efficient and effective ways to get eyeballs. Okay. But unless your daddy is Bill Gates, you probably can't do that for a very long time. Okay. Because you're going to run out of money. You're going to go broke. All right. So you don't have deep pockets. Paid traffic is probably not the number one way to go. Okay. But these 2 ways that I'm going to talk about next are the best ways to get awareness. Okay. And I need you to understand this is where the majority of your time should be. Okay. Number 2 is organic content. Okay. Organic content, meaning that there are platforms out there that have billions of people. Now, do all billions of people need what it is that you offer? No, they don't all need it, but a good chunk of them do. Okay. And these platforms host those billions of people. Okay. Now, they're not on there to give you money. They're on there to waste time. They're on there because they're bored. They're on there to stalk their high school boyfriend or girlfriend. They're on there to see who's getting married, who's getting divorced, whose life is falling apart, blah, 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 blah. And that's what they're on there for. But when they're on these platforms, you can do what you call interruption marketing, meaning that you can market to them while they are doing the activities that they're doing to pass time. Okay. And so that's what organic content is. You put your content out there. If the platforms like what you put out there, they don't care about you. They care about their customers, and their goal is to get their customers addicted to their platform. So if they feel like your content would make the customers more addicted to their platform, they will put your content in front of those customers. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is have really good content. You have to have content that the customer wants. So this is why it's so important to understand the customer in and out so that you can actually make content that will be good for them. That's called organic content. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it, but it's got to be really good. Okay. And so that is organic based content. Now, the cool thing is that we'll talk about how that helps in the other parts of the funnel, but it helps in awareness. You can do that today, and you can build your awareness, which is the most important part for most of you to be able to build, and get eyeballs on you that you didn't pay for. But you got to pay through actually being good at capturing people's attention. Okay. All right. And then the third way, which I think is the way that most of you should go with awareness, is partnerships. There are people that have audiences that you want. There are people that have the audiences that you could eventually sell your program, your product, your service, your solutions-based offer to. Okay. But here's the deal. You don't have a relationship with those people yet. Okay. Let's just say you wanted to work with healthcare providers. You want to work with healthcare providers that have a business. Guess who has an audience? Me. I got the audience. Okay. So here's the big question. Big question is, why don't you reach out to me? Now, here's why you won't reach out to me, because most of you don't know how to bring value. You don't know how to, you can reach out to me. And if you want, well, first thing is, if you start a relationship with me, you know I'm a relationship guy. If you start a relationship with me, and I actually liked you and you liked me, and you were just trying to get me to do a bunch of stuff for you, but we had a mutually enlightening relationship, then hey, you know what? Cool. Maybe we can be friends. And then once we start to be friends and we start to say, hey, wait a minute, you got this, you got that. I want to do business with friends. So, oh, wow, you got something cool. Okay. People get help with this. All right. Awesome. Okay. I want to serve my audience. I want to serve my customers. I want my customers to get amazing things. I don't do that thing that you do. Cool. Let's do something together. That's called partnerships. Okay. It's the fastest way for you to grow your business. I have created probably about 50 partnerships over my 9 years now of doing this particular business. Those partnerships have made me millions of dollars. Partnerships is the way to go. So without doing one of those three things, either paid traffic, organic content, or partnerships, you will never get more people right now that don't know you to know you. That's what you need to focus on. 50% or more of your time should be on that, okay? That is the first thing that you need to do. So did you learn any of that in school? Did you learn how to get awareness? Did you learn how to build partnerships? Did you learn how to create relationships first? Did you learn how to create more value for other people so they'll want to do stuff with you? If you don't know how to do those things, no wonder why you have to work for someone that you hate. No wonder you have to take pennies with the job that you're in right now. It's because you haven't focused on building that skill set. It's not a hard skill set. It's a very clear skill set that you can learn, but if you don't work at it, it means that you're just, I'm sorry, I'm so rough on y'all today, but you're arrogant. You're arrogant. You think that your amazing thing that you learn is so good that everybody that doesn't even understand it should understand it. So they should just pay you money. Well, good luck with that. It's never going to happen. And you know it. And that's the reason why you continue to deal with the crap that you're dealing with right now. So learn it, build on it. Okay. That's the first part of the funnel. Okay. But I can tell you this, most of your time should be there. Okay. Now, here's the second part of the funnel right below awareness, is that once people are aware of you, that doesn't mean they need to give you anything. But here's the one thing I want you to understand. Okay. So write this down. People will pay with their attention before they pay with money. So the next step in the awareness funnel is interest. They go from awareness is that, okay, now I know who you are. Now there's going to be a certain group of people that are actually interested in what it is that you have to offer. They will not pay you money yet though. They will pay you with their contact information. So it's in your best interest to give them something that they would pay money for with somebody else, but you are not going to charge them. You are going to say, hey, just give me your information and I'll send you this thing for free. Okay. Well, what you have now is you have their information. Your job is to not abuse their information, but to continue to build a relationship with them because they now gave you their information. That's your job. Okay. So how do you do that? You do that by giving them something that's of value in return for their email, their phone number, their name, or a combination of all three. Okay. And if you can get that, you have the ability to now start a relationship that is not dependent on a particular platform that you don't own. Now you have information from them that you own. Now you want to treat that appropriately. You want to treat that with respect. You want to treat that with care. So your job is with the information that you now own is to build on the relationship that you have with them and don't abuse it. Give them more stuff, more value, make their life better, rinse, repeat over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. So how do you do that? You do that by creating ways for people to give you contact information. That's usually a CRM. That's a lead magnet. That is a webinar. That could be a challenge. That could be a set of videos. That could be a set of audios. It could be a physical gift. It could be so many different things that you can give people. And in return, they'll give you their information. You get their information. Once you have their information, if you have it in a CRM, what you can do is you can then communicate with them via text, via email, whatever modes of contact you have for them, you can communicate with them and communicate not by just selling them stuff, communicate by building up their understanding of whatever thing you want them to understand so that they move to the next step in the awareness funnel, which is they consider you. They consider what it is that you're saying. Are they ready to buy yet? No. Okay. But you can't get them to buy until you get them to consider first. Okay. So how do you get them to consider? Well, now you have their contact information. Now, whatever thing you know they want more of, you start sending them more information on that thing so that they can now say, you know what? I'm considering doing the thing that this person's talking about. Now, are they ready to work with you? No. Are they ready to give you money? Absolutely not. But they're ready to consider what it is that you're saying. This is a process. People are so locked into the things that they've already learned. It takes a lot of mental bandwidth to actually admit that what you currently know is wrong. So getting people to consider changing is not easy to do. People stay in abusive relationships. People stay in terrible situations just because it's mentally easier, even though it's emotionally hell. Okay, they will stay in those situations for that reason and that reason only. So you have to communicate with people in order to get them to just consider. Okay, now that could last for weeks, that could last for days, that could last for months. I've had some people that's lasted for 10 years. They still haven't moved. Okay, I've considered starting that. I've considered doing that. And they just consider for the rest of their life until they die. Okay, now your job is to continue to be consistent in your messaging in platforms that you own, not just platforms that you borrow, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, but platforms that you own, email, text. And then your job is to get them to continue to take in your content until they move from consideration to intent. Okay, so what's intent? Intent is where they are like, okay, I'm no longer considering this. Something just happened. I intend to move forward. That usually happens from a life event. A life event. Like I've had it to where people have gone from consideration for 6 years and then all of a sudden they went to, I intend to move now. Why? Because they just got fired. I have had situations where I've considered moving, but now I intend to move. Why? Because just had a hurricane nearly blow down our neighborhood. Okay, so you've got to be around and you've got to be consistent because you don't know when that intent moment is going to come. So if you're not consistent, and the only way you're going to be consistent is if it's not so draining and taxing for you to do this consistently. So that's why you got to do it in the way that I'm telling you to do it so that when intent happens, they're ready to go. Okay, so now when intent happens, the next step in awareness funnel is they're going to evaluate you and they're going to evaluate others. Okay, so here, I give you a perfect example. I am in the market right now for a car. Okay, I'm in the market for a car for a family member. Okay, the car was damaged and it was a total during a recent storm, and our family member wants a certain car and knows exactly what car they want. They want the same car they had before, but right now we're evaluating. There's a few dealerships that sell that car. But we're evaluating on which one can give us the best deal, which one can give us the best interest rate, which one is doing this, which one is doing that, which one can give us the best warranty, which one can do that, which one can do that, da, 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 da. It's an evaluation process, okay? So right now, the person that's going to get our business is usually the one that gives the best offer. The best offer doesn't have to be the cheapest, but we're evaluating who we want to work with. Now, for us, a huge thing is we realize that most car dealers, they don't really have anything that's like, oh my gosh, this one's so much more valuable than this one. So honestly, it's usually the one that we feel just the most comfortable with, okay? But there might be someone out there that we feel very comfortable with, but right now they're not following up with us in order for us to get the car. So if you aren't consistent in your messaging and consistent in giving people the opportunity to buy what it is that you have, what it is that you can give them, what it is that you can serve them with, well, they're not going to buy from you. It doesn't matter how amazing you are. It doesn't matter how that you're from the same town as them. It doesn't matter that you like the same football team as them, or you don't even like football. You like the same artists as them. It doesn't matter. If when they're ready, you're not there, they're not buying from you. You don't even have an option for them to buy from you. Do you understand why this is so complicated? Because we didn't learn any of this, okay? But you have to have the ability to have multiple evaluation processes so that all the people that are in your world, when they are ready, you are ready with them. Okay? And if you don't do that, you don't have the opportunity for them to give you money. Even if you do it, does that mean they're going to give you money? No, they might not. They might not, but you must have those things in play. Okay? Now, if you do, and you present to them an offer, and it's an offer that they can't refuse because they love what it is that they're going to get, they love the amount of money they're going to have to part ways with for the thing that they're going to get. And they're like, the thing that I'm going to get is so much more than the money I'm going to give you. They trust you. They're clear about what it is that you're offering. They feel confident that what it is that you're going to offer them is going to change their life for the better. They'll buy. And then they become your customer. But if you see, none of this can happen without awareness first. So I don't care how good your thing is. If you don't have enough awareness, it's not going to work. If whatever it is that you're offering is not $1 or $2, you're going to need to build a relationship with them for the most part, for most people, in order for them to move forward with you. So if they don't have that, then no bueno. Okay. So these are all the things that must happen. It's awareness first. Interest needs to happen next. Once you have interest, you have a way to be able to get their contact information. You now own it. You're no longer borrowing it. It's not on rent. Okay. You own it. You take ownership of that information. From the information, you need to communicate with them consistently, clearly, and confidently so that they move to start to consider what it is that you're saying. And then over time, they will go to intent. And once they go to intent, if you give them the ability for them to evaluate you, they will listen. They might not buy, but it's the only way that they will. And then they move to a customer. That is the awareness funnel. And if you follow that funnel and you follow and put those things into play, you will never, ever, ever struggle to get clients. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I just told my son who just turned 19 recently. I said, son, I said, if there's any skill that you never want to have to worry about money, any skill for you to have, he goes, what is it? Is it to be a heart surgeon? I was like, nope. Is it to be an orthopedic surgeon? Nope. Is it to be an engineer? Nope. It's to get all those people clients. And if you know how to do that, you will never hurt for money. It is the most in-demand, most valuable job on the planet. And if you can learn that, and you know it, if you knew that skill, you would never hurt for clients. You would never hurt for money again. So it is a skill set that I highly recommend you build, you work on. If you want my help with it, you already know the drill. Reach out. And I can tell you right now, it will change your life for the better and it will save you a lot of sleepless nights. So anyways, I hope this episode helps you. I hope it serves you. We'll talk next time. That was easy.